Students, my name is Inder Preet Singh and today we are going to discuss about human digestive system. So here you can see this is the figure of human alimentary canal, and in this figure we will learn about human digestive system. So basically, what is the digestion? So digestion is the breakdown of complex food material into the simple one. So digestion is breakdown of the complex food material into the simple one. Now question is, what is the complex food material? So I have written three chemical reactions, or we can say these are the three metabolic reactions which takes place in our body. So in the first reaction, carbohydrate is converted into glucose, and in second, protein is converted into amino acid, and in third, fat is converted into fatty acid or glycerol. So these are the three complex food material which is converted into the simple one by the help of enzymes like salivary amylase, pepsin or lipase in our body. So first of all, we will start with our mouth. So we intake the food with the help of our mouth, and then the role of tongue comes into play, and our tongue rolls and tastes that food. And after that, when tongue is rolling the food, then this salivary gland is situated above this portion and below the tongue. So this salivary gland excretes or produces saliva. In saliva there is an enzyme called salivary amylase. So students, now the question arises is, what is the gland in our body? So basically the gland is an organ in our body which produces hormones or enzymes in our body. Now the question arises, what is an enzyme? Because enzyme has very important role in digestion system. This salivary amylase which is present in the saliva, this salivary amylase is also a type of enzyme. So what is an enzyme? Enzyme are the biocatalyst which makes the metabolic reactions fast in our body. So enzymes are the biocatalyst which makes the metabolic reactions fast in our body. So in the first step, when salivary gland excretes the saliva in the mouth, so in that saliva there is an enzyme called salivary amylase. This salivary amylase converts the carbohydrate into glucose. So this enzyme salivary amylase converts the carbohydrate into the glucose. This is the first main metabolic reaction in the digestive system of human body, and this takes place in our mouth. So after this metabolic reaction, the food enters into the oesophagus. So the oesophagus has another name, that is food pipe. So oesophagus has another name, that is food pipe. In the food pipe there is a special type of movement of the food, and that movement of food is called peristaltic movement. So what happens in this peristaltic movement in the oesophagus or in the food pipe? So in the peristaltic movement, when food enters into the food pipe, the contraction starts from the upper side and the expansion starts from the lower side. So the food pipe contracts from the upper side and it expands from the lower side, and this type of movement of the food is called peristaltic movement. After the peristaltic movement in the esophagus or in the food pipe, the food enters into the stomach. So in the stomach there is again a gastric gland present, and this gastric gland excretes or produces HCl, which is hydrochloric acid, second is mucus, and third is pepsin. So what is the function of HCl in the stomach? HCl or hydrochloric acid, it makes the food medium acidic in our body, and second function of HCl or hydrochloric acid in the body is to kill the harmful bacteria which comes with the food. So basically hydrochloric acid has two functions. It makes the food medium acidic, and second, it kills the bacteria or germs which comes with the food. And now this pepsin, the function of pepsin is to convert the protein into amino acid. So pepsin in the stomach converts protein into the amino acid. And now the function of mucus. So what is the function of mucus? Students, you know HCl, hydrochloric acid, is a very strong acid. So to protect the delicate organs of the stomach from the strong hydrochloric acid, there is an inner lining present in the stomach, and that inner lining is called mucus. So basically mucus prevents or protect the stomach or the delicate organs of the stomach from the harsh or strong action of the HCl or hydrochloric acid. So here you can see this organ is called liver, and in this liver there is production of bile juice and bile salt. So basically in the liver there is production of bile juice and bile salt. So liver excretes or produces these two bile juice and bile salt. Now what is the function of bile juice? Bile juice makes the food medium alkaline. Bile juice makes the food medium alkaline. Alkaline is the just opposite of the acidic. Alkaline are those bases which are soluble in water. And second, this bile salt makes or converts the large fat globules into the smaller ones. So function of bile salt is to convert the large fat globules into the smaller ones, and this process is called emulsification of fat. So in this, the large fat globules is broken down into the smaller ones, and this process is done by bile salt in the liver, and this process is called emulsification of fat. So after that, you can see here is another organ which is pancreas. So you can see in the pancreas there is another pancreatic juice released. So pancreas releases the pancreatic juices named lipase or trypsin. So pancreas releases the pancreatic juice which are lipase or trypsin. So what is the function of lipase or trypsin in our body? So as the pepsin converts the protein into amino acid in the stomach, the name trypsin, this is also the similar name like pepsin in the stomach. So basically the function of both these pepsin or trypsin are the same. So the pepsin converts the protein into amino acid in the stomach in the acidic medium, but the trypsin converts the protein into amino acid in the pancreas in the alkaline medium. So main difference between pepsin and trypsin is pepsin converts protein into amino acid in the stomach in acidic medium, and trypsin converts protein into amino acid in the pancreas in the alkaline medium, or we can say in the basic medium. After that, you can see here it is the small intestine of our body. You can see here it is the small intestine of our body, and the length of this small intestine is almost 6.5 meter in our body. So basically the main complete digestion process occurs in this small intestine. So now the main function of absorption occurs in this small intestine. What happens in that absorption we will study. So in the small intestine, you can see here there are I have made a large view of small intestine. In this view you can see there are small finger-like projections called villi. These are small finger-like projections in the small intestine. This is the large view of the small intestine, and in this view you can see small finger-like projections, and these finger-like projections are called villi. These finger-like projections in the small intestine are called villi. Now what is the function of villi in the small intestine? Basically it absorbs, or it increases, these villi increases the surface area for the absorption of glucose, amino acid, fatty acid or glycerol, which are converted into, or which are converted from carbohydrate, protein or fat. So these glucose, amino acid, fatty acid or glycerol, all these three components are absorbed by the villi in the small intestine. So villi increase the surface area for the absorption of these three components, glucose, amino acid, fatty acid or glycerol, and after that you can see here the blood vessels are connected with the villi. So after the absorption, these blood vessels takes these three components to the other organs for the energy purpose. I am repeating again. Here you can see blood vessels are connected with the villi, and after the absorption of these three components, glucose, amino acid, fatty acid or glycerol by the villi, blood vessels takes these three components to the other organs for the energy purpose. And after this, the undigested food, or the food which is not digested or absorbed by the small intestine, enters into the large intestine. The length of this large intestine is almost 1.5 meter in our body, and so the undigested food enters into the large intestine. In the large intestine, extra water or extra salt present in the undigested food, or the food which is not digested or absorbed, is absorbed here. So the extra water or extra salt from the undigested food is absorbed in the large intestine in the human body. So after that, the undigested food comes out from the body through the anus. So the undigested food comes out from the body through the anus.